Good morning, good morning. This is Big H from NYC. I created this channel, MGTOW, for veterinarians because I feel like guys from the age of 20 to 29 should hear this information. I've been, for the past year, real interested in this MGTOW thing. And there's a lot of content from older gentlemen about, the climate of women now and the things that they've been through. And I just wanted to put my take on it, being a younger man. I'm 27 years old, being a younger man in this climate right now. And my main focus is, like, there's not a lot of women for marriage these days, because, like, I'm at the age where I'm doing pretty good for myself. I invest, my own place, cars, motorcycles, things like that, and I'm trying to get way better than that. But when I'm thinking about the idea of marriage, which is normally like the next step, it's really nothing out here. And I'm in the field, I date, I go on some dates and things like that, but even that is like, it's crazy these days. I have stories that I could tell, and I'll put those out in other videos. But right now I wanted to get into this. I'm real big on empowering men to just know, where they stand in the world, and because a lot of guys don't know. And I have this rule called the 2140 generalization rule, and I tell this to everyone, men, women. That's everyone. I tell this rule a lot just to see where people, when I tell it to women, I just want to see where their mind is at when I do tell them things like this, because it's all truth, and I've gained this knowledge through watching red pill videos and MGTOW videos and things like that. And I came up with this theory, and you let me know if you agree or disagree, or questions, comments, concerns about it. So I always start off by saying, men and women's value differ for each other. So I try to tell women this, and it's really hard for them to believe it, but a woman's value is her looks through a man's eyes. So what makes a man want to talk to you before he knows your name, number, if you're a good or bad person, it's how you look, if you're attractive to him. So, some guys like fat ass, big titties, and everything like that. Some guys like slim women, or some guys like obese women. So whatever your attractiveness level to the man, that's what makes him want to talk to you. So women like to say, "Oh, he likes me because I'm nice," but initially, when he first wanted to talk to you, it was because you looked good to him. So in general, we do know a lot of people who like look good to a lot of people around. So we have there's attractive people, and there's not so attractive people, but we get by. So so from a woman's eyes, how they view men and their value is their appearance. So women like to say, "Oh yeah, I want the 6 foot tall guy with a 6-figure bank, a 600 horsepower car, 16-inch dick," and all that stuff. But if they meet a man, like a short man, but he's on his Floyd Mayweather shit, she'll deal with him. If she meets a fat man and he's on his Rick Ross shit, she'll deal with that man. So, what a woman says or what she really wants and things like that, she'll bend it for a guy whose appearance is really on point. This is what I see out here, really. So, we already got that settled. So as time goes on, a woman that's 21, she typically has the world in the palm of her hands. Every guy wants to date her. Every guy's taking her out. She's dating and taking out, it's the same thing. But she can get breakfast, lunch, and dinner for free. Around the clock. Now that decreases as she gets older, because guys are not really trying to check for a grandma. You know what I mean? Like, as women get older and, you know, they remain single, no one's really checking for them as they did when she was in her younger age. So we could say looks don't last forever. And we could say as a woman, if her values through a man's eyes is her looks, it decreases as she gets older. A man's value now, 21 years old, you know, he can't really do as much now as he could in his later years, because, you know, men typically on average, I looked this up, they reach like financial stability and things like that around the age of 40. Now that differs, like, this is in general rules, so a lot of this stuff doesn't go with everyone. I'm sure we can always point out one or two cases, or probably more than that, but it's not the majority who don't like reach to these rules. So majority of people, this rule applies to. So as men get older, you know, you're probably working at McDonald's, 21 years old, you know, but as he gets older, he gets a little career and things like that. So his value goes up because his appearance will get better the more money he makes, you know, the more things he establishes for himself. And women can see these things. They can sense it. They can sense a guy that, you know, has his stuff together and stuff like that. Sometimes they can even intimidate them. But so let's just say this woman, she stood single until she's 40. She's ready to settle down now. Women typically want a guy her age or higher to settle down with. They don't typically want somebody younger, you know, because most he can do for her is just sex. So they want a guy, you know, her age. She wants a guy, you know, her age or older. Now, this guy, she's settled at 40, you know. Her options are not there anymore. She's ready to settle down. She's like, yo, I'm tired of playing the game. She knows she's not the youngest one in the club anymore. So now she wants to settle down with the 40-year-old guy. Now, he's just reached financial independence now. He's good, you know. He knows what it feels like to, you know, have his money and stuff like that, and you know, staying clean and all those type of things, dressing nice and things like that. So she comes checking. She says, I'll cook, clean, give you sex and everything you want. But now he's able to go get a younger woman, because, you know, younger women like a guy who has things together. This sugar daddy thing and all that stuff is taking off like crazy these days. Like, I see it, like, even on, you know, on these apps and things like that, swiping, I see it. It's taking off like crazy. So women want a guy that could treat them better. So what would he be like? I call it settling for a 40-year-old woman when he can go out and get something much younger, much nicer. Now, this is the thing, because I you know, they say that there's the good, the bad, the ugly. I go with the ugly, the bad, and then the good. Now, what I try to tell women is at this age, you know, around these ages, and a little bit younger too, because I rarely deal with women my age, but I tell them, at the end of the day, we both want this thing right here, which is the 70, 80, 90-year-old couple pushing each other in a wheelchair. You know what I mean? Like the relationship goal thing, the memes that we see online and stuff like that. We typically want that. But I feel like women want that more. They have more pressures to have that. So I try to tell them that man didn't meet that woman when she was in her 40s, 50s, 60s. You know what I mean? He met her when she was in her 20s, early. And he appreciated her through all her years. So while she's making all these changes and stuff like that, you know what I mean? The initial reason why you wanted to talk to her and you're attracted to her, they decrease, but he knows that's his. You see what I'm saying? There's like a magic to that. So the same music you're listening to in, you know, this time, the Chris Brown, the Usher songs and things like that, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, that song come on, you like, yo, baby, that's my song. You know what I mean? Like, he'll appreciate you more knowing you, watching your body grow from younger to older, and you guys will still share that same type of relationship. I actually see this going on with my parents. They've been married for 29 years. You know, my older brother and my two younger sisters, we all came from, you know, the same mother, father. I come from that type of household. I'm not one of these guys. I don't have any kids or anything like that. You know, I'm in my career. Just a little bit about me. I'll tell you more in later videos. But yeah, like, I see my parents, like, they go out and they you know, when I finally come up to their house and stuff like that, and I see them, they have like little stories and things like that. Oh, you should see what your father did out there. And then my father's like, oh yeah, your mother was out there showing her ass. And it's just like jokes back and forth. But they go back to that younger teenage years when they first met each other. They both retired now, traveling the world, doing their thing, you know, through arguments and everything like that. You know what I mean? Because like honestly, you know, women, they play these games now, but when they look up in the future and, you know, they don't have anybody and things like that, it's much harder to try to lock down on a man later on in life. But I just try to tell women, now is the time to, you know, find someone you see potential in, because women make the first sacrifice when it comes to like dating and relationships. And their first sacrifice is the fact that they have their youth and the fact that they can bear children. So I tell women, find someone that you see potential in. You know what I mean? You could hit or miss, but find someone you see potential in and you get that guy. Because later down on in life, when that guy finally reaches his financial independence, what you guys built together and what he has is yours. You see what I'm saying? He makes the second sacrifice where he doesn't just run off and go get like a younger woman or something like that. He's like, yo, this woman's been down with me for all these years. You know, what I have is hers. You know what I mean? And, you know, I just find a beauty in that thing. And this right now in this world, there's a lot of Cardi B's and city girls running around here. No Beyonce's and Michelle Obama's. You know what I mean? But I have a whole bunch more things to talk about. Like, I talk about this stuff all the time. I was thinking about making a food channel and all that stuff, but then, you know, my father came, he was like, yo, man, you proficient at this, like talking about women. Because, you know, you really like come with that logical standpoint. You know what I mean? And women, logic is not one of their strong suits. You know, and I've talked to a few women and listen, they can fake it. They'll fake it till you really put it on them. But logic is not one of their strong points. And if you could find one that does have that logic, it would be dope. But honestly, it's not a thing right now. But yeah, that's just my first video. I just wanted to throw that out there. I wanted guys to just know your power. Like, as you get older, man, you definitely are the prize. You know what I mean? Women like to say, oh, I'm the prize, I'm the prize, I'm the prize. But you're definitely the prize. Because think about it. What does a woman do for you? You see what I'm saying? Like, for me, I have to put a value on a woman for her to be valuable to me. If you understand what I'm saying. Like, I have to say it's good having a woman around, you know, I feel like a man and things like that. Because honestly, the things that she could do for me, almost everything except for sex, I could do for myself. You know what I mean? Like, what, cook, clean, do laundry, stuff like that. And the woman that doesn't do it, I try to tell her, you'll do it anyway, whether I'm here or not. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta wash clothes, you gotta cook. You know what I mean? All you're doing is just adding an extra plate when you're dealing with me. So yeah, I have a whole bunch of other things. I don't want to go off on a tangent, but I'm gonna end the video right there. You know, like, share, subscribe, and that's it. Peace.